disagree that reparations are necessary. I think the most important thing that's necessary right now for the black community would be the stopping of violence, especially black on black violence. I don't see how reparations are going to solve anything. You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently, a $50,000 check. It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other according to the FBI?
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there. Particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time.
Definitely bad is being part of a gang and being in that dangerous situation where you have to slide on the ops and kill black men, and then you have black mothers who grieve about that stuff, right? It destroys families, destroys households. A lot of these black men who are being killed by other black men, they have kids, and now those kids are going to grow up to, guess what, be a part of the same gang their father was a part of. Why? Because he's from that set neighborhood, and that neighborhood has one gang which fights with this other gang. And I say that is bad. I say that we should get rid of all of that garbage slob, and I'm called anti-black. I'm saying get rid of it. Get rid of that slob. More Ben Carsons, more Thomas Sowells, more Clarence Thomas. Get rid of that gangster garbage slob. Simple.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and I was gonna treat this idiot like the son, not look directly at him, right? I had seen him a few months back. He was doing the 20v1 with Amanda Seales. I think it was the radical versus 20 conservatives. How anybody is 20 years old and is conservative is beyond me, but I digress. Second of all, it's nothing wrong with being a conservative. I like to add, a lot of people like to be in my comment section. They think that I'm left wing, like I'm Democratic. I'm nonpartisan. I'm not Democratic. I'm not Republican. I'm for whatever political party that is offering tangibles and or trying to do something for my people along with everybody else in this country. People like to make this stupid ass argument that, well, people that are president can't do things just for black people. Like Kamala Harris got her mixed ass up there on TV talking about how I can't do things. I'm not going to do things only for black people. No.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Why that was out of line, because Obama did. Let's just cut the short shit short. A lot of Trumpers will point this out, and they're right that Obama actually had passed a lot of laws, anti-gay LGBT laws. He actually legalized gay marriages to the point where I think one county clerk in Michigan somewhere lost her job and went to jail because she tried to obstruct said newly passed law. So this whole bullshit about the president can't do shit just for black people. The president can do anything for anybody in this country that he want. He just didn't try to. Not only that, we didn't see Donald Trump throw out a whole bunch of executive orders like fucking boomerangs. Now some shit gets stopped, judges obstruct it, but at the end of the day, majority of the shit that he threw out. They can try to stop it, veto it, whatever. That's not the point. Obama actually passing shit for black people would have just been a testament that he gave a fuck about black people, especially if you gonna run on the campaign that you are black. Why mention that shit? The first black president. Why mention growing up in Illinois? Why talk about your African lineage? Like, that's not necessary. Or damn, I don't know why the fuck I always draw a blank when the damn lights are on. But yeah, that's not, it wasn't necessary for him to even mention, right? Unless he was pandering. Now, he was pandering. We just cut the short shit short. So with all that being said, he could have actually not called people in the streets rioting because of the death of Freddie Gray, but at the hands of police officers. He could have not called the rioters thugs because of the death of George Floyd at the hands of Derek Chauvin, a police officer. He could have literally passed or at least proposed the anti-black law, right? Stopping people from attacking black people without provocation. May I mind you, most of the people that the police shot weren't fucking the criminal element. I know there's people in America, white, black, and or other, namely white people and immigrants like this dude, they like to think that most black people are criminals. Now, I've lived in multiple parts of the United States, the West Coast, the Midwest where I'm from, and down south. I've been to 27 states in America. I know a lot of people. I've lived 42 years. I've actually even dabbled in criminality when I was broke, without skills and a lack of economic resources. I can tell you firmly that most people in the streets don't do shit because of gang member affiliation, it being cool, it being cultural. This jackass talking about somebody's father is going to die and the kid's going to grow up and be a gang member. That's not necessarily true, sir. I know a lot of gang members that got killed and their kids grew up and they not gang members. And this is direct family members and or friends of friends that I know. Actually, most people that were gang members that have children that are now in their 40s, kids aren't gang members. Ain't even in the streets. It's 2025. It's not. A lot of people like to think that getting in the streets and doing criminality is easy, right? Even if you are black, criminality isn't easy. In the words of Jay-Z, and I think he said it the best, anybody that said illegal was the easy way out couldn't understand the mechanics and the workings of the underground. Granted, 9 to 5 is how you survive. I ain't trying to survive. I'm trying to live it to the limit and love it a lot. What he meant by that is, if you think getting in the streets is easy, you don't know the streets. Because see, it don't matter if you get 2 pounds of weed or 20 kilos, unless you know somebody to make the moves that you need to make, you ain't getting that shit off. You just sitting with a bunch of drugs, right? A lot of these doofuses, dweebs and twerps like to think that getting into criminality, even being a gang member, is easy, right? One reason that people become gang members is because it does grant them a shield in criminality. Meaning, if you get jammed up and you get locked up, there's a certain protection and provision you'll have while incarcerated, right? Other than that, that's about it. Or maybe on the streets, right? It plugs you into a criminal network that you, under normal circumstances, might not have. Like if you live in Los Angeles, right? If you're a blood, or if you're a gang member, a Crip, if you don't know nobody if you don't know how to get no cocaine, it's several people within the set that's gonna put you down, right? So anybody thinking that just getting in the streets is some easy willy-nilly shit doesn't know the streets. And if you're an immigrant from a place like that man's from Angola, which has had plenty of civil conflicts throughout the last 30 years, is in destitute poverty, which is why he's probably a son of a refugee that came to America, you might want to hold your tongue on that shit, right? Your country wasn't firmly planted and your family couldn't get a foot in there, which is why your black ass is here speaking against or about people culture that you don't know about, especially gang culture. You're reading white propaganda, taking cues from people like Charlie Kirk, which is why he's pictured with them. They know who to pick. They know how to pick these immigrant dummies that don't know too much about black culture, even though they share black skin, which is why black people have been delineating for the last 3 or 4 years from Africans and people in the Caribbean islands, because while we all share brown melanated skin, we ain't all the same, right? There's certain elements of Caribbean culture and African culture that have nothing to do with American culture. I know these motherfuckers like to think that hip hop is a derivative offshoot of some Caribbean music or African music. It's not. It's a new sound made by black Americans. And these are the people that try to argue with black Americans about we shouldn't call ourselves black. It's a descriptor. I had an argument with a couple weeks ago trying to tell me, oh, black isn't an ethnicity. Used by black people, it is. It has been since the 1970s. If you don't know, pertinent information, you should probably keep your mouth closed. He's only 19. I don't even think he said he was barely 20. So to have a teenager try to argue with somebody like Amanda Seales, which I don't even like her, is mind-boggling. It's baffling. Like, bro, you ain't did the knowledge. Give a fuck about you going to some white college. They ain't teaching you shit there anyways about your people. And a lot of stuff about black culture, you ain't gonna read in a book. You need to ask your grandparent or great grandparent if they're still alive. Or hell, even ask your mom and dad. But considering they're from Angola, then there's that. That's problematic because they don't know shit about black culture. The only thing they know about black culture is shit they done seen on TV. And judging by being from another country, they probably can't speak the language, so they don't even know the context of black movies. So this is irritating on so many levels, right? But yeah, to all you immigrants that's out there, you should probably learn, open your ears. Anybody that's pictured with Charlie Kirk as if he's a savior or a good guy of any sorts of black people, bro, my man got shot talking about gang violence. Now, he wasn't talking about the Hells Angel, and he wasn't talking about neo-Nazis. He was talking about Crips, Bloods, GDs, and Vice Lords, which are namely black. Ironically, he was shot by a white man. You couldn't make this shit up if you tried. So your mentor or somebody you looked up to was an idiot, and you're just following in footsteps. And on a side note, why the fuck do these people, namely these black immigrants, always come here and pick up an accent dialect like a European or a white American? Like, bro, you're so polar opposites of us. The only thing you do is share our skin color, which to me is an abomination because, like, we're not the same. You don't know about gang violence. You don't know about street culture. And anybody that thinks that gang culture is some like fad or some trend, right, it's some cool shit, doesn't know economic disenfranchisement, right? People don't do crime because it's cool. Motherfuckers do crime because they lack skills and resources. And if they get put on to selling drugs, let me just break down the mathematics. An ounce of cocaine, give or take, costs about $720, or at least it used to. I don't know what the price is now because I'm straight. The flip on that is $11.20. Give or take, if you work your hustle real good, you can make $1,200. Now, if you could move an ounce a day or two, you can make roughly about $3,000 to $4,000 a week. Why the fuck would I ever get a mech job if I can make $3,000 a week as opposed to $2,000 a month? Black people might be broke. There might be some black people that's poor. We not stupid. We know math and we know history. There's some things that you don't know. I don't know what the fuck he's studying in college, but continue to study, and it will behoove you to reach out and pick up some books by black scholars as opposed to Thomas Sowell, right? He's a bootlick, and he gets paid by the white establishment to kick these bullshit narratives. And I will say, I will concede to your point about some of these, because he picked out a whole bunch of like sellouts, Clarence Thomas, Thomas Sowell, and some other motherfucker, right? People that the black community despise, not because they're upstanding black people. They look down on black people, knowing the plight of black people. They elevate to a certain level. Just because there's oppression doesn't mean that everybody's gonna get elevated, which is why you have a Clarence Thomas or a Thomas Sowell or a Ben Carson. Name me about 100 of them niggas, then you saying something. Right? Two things can be true at the same time. You can have black people that go on to do successful things and elevate themselves. That's the exception, not the rule. If it was the rule, there wouldn't be black crime, poverty, and none of that shit. But it's an exception. And considering you were taking pictures with a white right-wing conservative activist, I'm assuming you parroting the shit that he says puts you in a favorable light for him to actually afford you opportunities. That's how it works. The more ass kissers and bootlickers they see, they're more prone to help. I've been living 42 years. I ain't never had a white person help me, and I've written 2 books and filmed 3 movies. Go figure that. It's because I'm not with the bootlicking. I don't kiss no ass. Now, I'm not hostile, and I'm a very articulate, intelligent black man. However, I'm not willing to bend the knee and kiss ass and usurp talking points from these people that despise people that look like even you, sir. In any event, if y'all like this episode, I know it's gonna be a bunch of racists, and I'm debating on if I should turn the comments off and let me sleep on it. In any event, if you like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.
No.